I guess a lot of people are going to be wondering where I'm at and where, of course, I want to know where you're at with the situation with the manager. I haven't been fully won back around yet, but we are heading in the right direction, which is certainly a good sign. Look, today wasn't perfect. On another day, we could have conceded a couple. Alisson made some big saves. But you know what? When we play with that type of attacking intent like we did today, I don't mind if we concede some chances, because ultimately that's the way we used to play. We were never rock solid at the back, but we found ways to keep clean sheets, which we did again today. So for me, very relieved. We sit in a decent position in the league table now. There are still teams still to play this weekend, of course, but Liverpool certainly heading in the right direction, and that gap on the top four is certainly closing. Arsenal they were so lucky, weren't they? Two own goals to win the game. But look, sometimes you say league champions, if you're going to win it, you need a little bit of luck along the way. So, like I've said for a while now, I don't think the top of the league or the league title is our concern right now. So we should just focus on picking up our own points as and when we can. Wayne, TOTT2KZ1 said, I've not been won back yet, but another 3 or 4 wins in a row will help. Help a bit more if he doesn't favour Gakpo when he's back. Yeah, I'm going to find it really hard, Wayne, to get a read on exactly where my head's at with Arne Slot. For the reasons you've mentioned, what will happen when Gakpo comes back? What will happen when Mo comes back from the AFCON? I'd like to think that he will stick with the system he has now, because it's gotten him results. But we've seen before that he does revert back occasionally. And I just think the system now makes more sense with the players that we have available to us. So yeah, for me, some variation of what we've seen. And when Mo comes back, we've said at the end of the game today, and I think we can have a discussion about it tonight, there's every chance that we could see him playing in as one of the two up top if needs be. I need to see the next 5 Premier League matches, said Sumat. And I'm with you, Sumat. I'm with you, mate. Look, I'm certainly in a far better place mentally about the manager than I was 3-4 weeks ago, where it really did feel like there was no rescue in the situation. But he's managed to string back-to-back wins. We're unbeaten in 5, 2 draws, 3 wins. Starting to trend in the right direction. And, he gets some extra credit for me because he's done it with injuries. I mean, over the last few weeks, he's found a way to get results. I think Florian Wirtz is improving game on game. We're going to talk about Curtis Jones tonight as well, because that man deserves the credit for the performances he's been putting in. Sam Walsh said, great win. Wirtz was amazing and Hugo obviously fantastic. Want Bastoni in January, but Gay will do. Lots of us are now Arne skeptic rather than Arne out. Yeah, that's probably a fair summarisation, Sam. Look, I'd like to think that most people who were of a similar mindset to me that were Arne out were understandably Arne out. But I'd like to think that, again, like myself, if results start turning and the manager starts getting performances, I'm absolutely there to be won back as a fan. And some people will say that makes us fickle. I think it makes us human beings. It'd be worse if we were saying Arne out no matter what. Even if we win the next 3 games, there will still be some people that have made their mind up on the manager. And I'm fluid in my opinions of everything. Everything is there to be rescued for me. And if Arne can turn it around, happy days. But I'm not quite at that level of confidence just yet. So I wanted to read you guys out something that Bayern Space posted, and it's around Florian Wirtz, and it's both encouraging and a little bit surprising. Surprising for the right reasons, though. So let me read this out to you and you'll see where I'm coming from. So this again on the Bayern Space account. Florian Wirtz has told international teammates at Bayern Munich, or his national teammates at Bayern, with whom he still maintains regular contact, that he's deeply satisfied. And I want to reiterate, that is satisfied, not dissatisfied. He is deeply satisfied with how things are currently developing, that his confidence is growing game by game, and that he's becoming increasingly accustomed to the physicality of the Premier League. In those conversations, one name keeps surfacing on a strangely consistent way. Curtis Jones is that name. Florian has spoken openly about how much he values playing in front of Curtis and how the balance Jones provides behind the ball has a direct impact on his own freedom higher up the pitch. He has rarely encountered a midfielder with such a refined technical level, and has been particularly struck by Jones's progressive passing, his ability to break lines and move the ball forward with clarity and timing. He's described it as a genuine joy to play ahead of him, believing that Jones' presence behind him offers the ideal platform to operate freely between the lines, giving him both security and momentum and allowing him to consistently find and exploit the spaces and be decisive. I'm really loving this Curtis Jones turnaround, by the way. You know, so many people are now starting to at least acknowledge the progression from Curtis. And today, again, I would say he was one of our best players. Always looking to get the ball forward. And as he said there, very good as well. Very good technically. The Bin said Curtis Jones has been elite. He has. And look, fair play. Fair play to everyone that is giving him his credit, because I was one of his biggest detractors. But like I've said, I like to think that I'm honest. And if I see a change in somebody, and that would include the manager, of course, I'll be happy to talk about it in a positive sense, and I've seen that change with Curtis Jones. Hi mate, it seems like players are starting to gel. Ekitike, Wirtz, Kirkes looking more positive. A bit worried about depth at centre-back though. I mean, I think you're being kind there, saying a bit worriedly. I'm panicking about centre-back. And the more I see links in the January transfer window to attacking players, the more I'm getting concerned, because we should be, kicking doors down to get a centre-back in. Master Zapoid, how are you, bro? Said Craig wasn't able to see the game today, so we'll have to check out the 90-minute replay. But when it comes to January, I wish for us to focus on defence. I'm right there with you, bro. Right there with you. Look, if we could get 2 signings in January, I'd like it to be a DM and a centre-back. I know people might talk about forwards, but honestly, they're the 2 positions that I think, I used to be a wide player and a centre-back. Now it's definitely a DM and a centre-back. Fair enough, mate. Quite nice actually having a late stream. Ekitike was amazing today. He was brilliant. Would love to have seen him get a hat-trick, but, 2 very different goals. And it was lovely to see Salah with the assist as well. We talked about this earlier on, but that assist now put Salah clear at the very top for one club in the Premier League. In the history of the Premier League, Mohamed Salah now has the most contributions. I'm just trying to find the actual statistical numbers here. 1 second. So, most goals and assists for a single club in Premier League history. Mohamed Salah tops that list. Third place is Ryan Giggs with 271 goals and assists. Second place, Wayne Rooney with 276. But top of the pile, Mohamed Salah, 277 goals and assists for one club. I'm seeing a lot of food emojis in there. Well played, well played. And I promised, it did catch my eye. I love the warmth that Milner got today when he came on. Yeah, look, say what you want about Liverpool fans. We do appreciate and recognise greatness. And Jimmy Milner is just a supermodel pro, isn't he? And I dare say, even if Milner came on, if Liverpool were drawn or losing, he still would have got as equally a warm reception, because, we know legends when we see them. And Jimmy Milner, I mean, it's impossible not to like the man.